Hey, I'm Steve from Within the Ruins, and this is Brutal Planet.
Hello, this is Ron Bumblefoot Thal of Sons of Apollo, and welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
This is Mike Howe from Metal Church, and welcome to Brutal Planet.
This is Lydia Graham from LYLVC, and welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
This is Hulk Hoffman of bid y'all welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
Hey, this is JT from Syra, and welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
Hey, this is Nick Reese from Joyous Wolf, and this is Brutal Planet Magazine.
We are Thunder Mother, and welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
Tom Banglund here. Just want to welcome you guys to Brutal Planet Magazine.
This is Kevin from the Heavy Metal Shop. Welcome to Brutal Planet. Hello, Metalheads. My name is Patrick Johansson, known from Lions Hair and Outdoors. Welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
Greetings, Brutal Planet. We are here today with Alyse and Oscar of the band Lilac.
We are
Welcome
back.
Yeah, round two.
Good to be back, man.
We haven't seen you since we were in Vegas.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you guys about that. I've heard the song. I've heard Crawl Space. Do you guys have more stuff from those sessions coming out?
Yeah, so actually, Crawl Space was recorded with Mike Plotnikoff in West Valley Studios. So Howard.
Okay.
Yeah, we recorded a few songs out there earlier in the year. So Crawl Space was not from the Kane Turco session.
So wow.
We have a lot of we have a lot of unreleased songs that we haven't released yet. So we still have two more from those sessions, and then the whole entire album that we just wrote with Kane Turco still needs to be released.
Oh, so you guys did a full length?
No, we just did an EP. But yeah, still have a lot of songs to release.
Awesome. Well, I got to apologize because your people told me it was just going to be you again, Alyse. So I got to update the card. I would put Oscar on the card if I knew he was going to be here. So my bad on that.
It's all good.
I've been listening to a lot of you guys' stuff since we last talked, and I really like the song Heirloom.
Really?
I know it's older.
Yeah.
I just love the chorus in that.
Oh, I'm so glad that you love that. Hell yeah.
Is that from those same sessions? Is that an older track?
Yeah. So when we first recorded the Perfect Drug EP, we recorded, with Mike Plotnikoff at Howard Benson's West Valley Studios. So that was with Mike Plotnikoff and Joe Ricard. And that had Perfect Drug, Broken Promises, Undertow. Yeah, the entire EP.
Okay.
And then Crawl Space, we just went back to Mike because we loved him so much, and that one we actually wrote with Tyler Connolly from Theory of a Dead Man. Like, it was just kind of before the Kane Turco sessions, we knew we were going to be in Vegas for 6 weeks writing with Kane, right? So we wanted to have a little bit of practice writing with writers before that. So Mike set us up with Tyler from
Super
Theory.
Cool, by the way.
Yeah, Tyler's awesome, And I guess it was just kind of cool getting a shorter version of, hey, you got 12 hours right with someone, and Tyler has such a very strong voice, you know what I'm saying? And Theory of a Dead Man, you can tell his style and everything, which is very different from our style. So learning how to still collaborate and work together while still maintaining our own voices, I think was really important. And we learned a lot from that. We worked also with another guy named Tommy Kane for 2 other songs there as well. It was just really cool being able to experience writing with different writers. And then we went to Vegas for a full 6 weeks. And that was really hammering things out with every single day one guy, and Kane is amazing. I mean, he wrote he helped write Blood for like In This Moment, a bunch of the Five Finger Death Punch albums and stuff. So we were really, really lucky to work with him. It was pretty insane.
So what have y'all been up to since I talked to you last in Vegas?
Tour.
Yeah. Oh man, so much.
Yeah. We've been on the road a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and had like 1 or 2 off days here and there, but really we've been moving through Indiana, Kansas, Pennsylvania. We were in New Jersey, Maryland yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's been so much fun out on the road with Fame on Fire and Pop Evil, two great bands. I mean, they've been bringing out the crowds every single night. And we've been so fortunate that we've actually played a few of these places before. So we had all the homies coming out, a lot of fans coming out and singing along. And
so many people knew our lyrics last night in Baltimore. It was crazy. They not only did they know the Perfect Drug EP, which has been out a while, but like even everybody was just shouting out the lyrics of Crawl Space, which has only been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like, so when we released that, we're already like on a bunch of radio stations now. And like, I think we're number one, like last time I talked with my radio promo rep, we're like number one most requested song in Corpus Christi right now. So things are just fucking blowing up. Sorry, I didn't know if I can cuss.
The song is so fire. I was gonna say the song is so fire. There's a fire truck pulling up as we're talking about it.
Yeah, it's all part of the sound effects. It's the atmosphere, right?
Where are y'all at right now?
Even though we're on tour with Pop Evil and Fame on Fire right now, all the way until November 22nd is the last date. There's one day off that we had between Baltimore, Maryland and Columbia, South Carolina. And our home base is Raleigh, North Carolina. So we just figured, okay, well, we got one day off.
Yeah, make a 5-mile detour and let's sleep in our own bed for one night.
Yeah, so we're actually currently in my like back porch area of where I live. So
awesome. So you're in North Carolina.
Yeah. It's nice to don't get me wrong, I love sleeping in bunks on a bus full of sweaty people. It's like the most favorite, best thing ever.
Amazing.
But no, I mean, getting to have just a little break in the middle of all that and get back onto the road, right back onto it, get back fresh tomorrow in Columbia and Florida after that.
Oh yeah.
Which we have a lot of people coming out to Florida.
The House of Blues is going to be packed. And also the one in Tennessee.
Disney.
The one in Tennessee is sold out already.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been hundreds of people like selling out everywhere. I mean, it's been insane crowds.
And the crazy thing about this tour as well is that kind of like we said, we have all these unreleased songs, but we are playing them at these shows.
Oh, good.
And by the second chorus, I mean, people are starting to chime in with us. Like, every single night people are learning the lyrics as we're playing the songs every single night. So it's been amazing just to hear like a crowd of people screaming out,
and people are like loving them so much that they're asking us, okay, what was this song? And we're like, that's one of the ones from Vegas, baby. Like we're gonna be releasing that very soon, and they're going from city to city. Like we've had a few people like that where they saw us in Pennsylvania and they were like, hell yeah, we're gonna see you for a couple other strings. And we met
in New Jersey. We'll see you in New Jersey. We'll see you in Baltimore.
Yeah, like a couple people that were at the New Jersey show, they came to the Baltimore show, and they're coming to the Columbia show. I mean, people are starting to like really form like strings of shows, which is really exciting.
You guys are gonna have like a Grateful Dead fan base before long, just people that follow your
right.
Hey, that would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been headbanging in their faces and stuff. Maybe they just like want to catch the wind.
Yeah, just some lilac, just an army of
cooling them off.
Hair.
It's like a natural fan.
Yeah, I had a couple fans already started dyeing their hair lilac. So I mean, it's happening. Happened last night. There was a few people.
On the new track, Oscar, did you do the heavier vocals on that?
No. So actually, I love that I keep hearing about that. And people keep directing it to me. But honestly, it's Kenny, our bassist, who is absolutely brutal. He did the screaming parts. And I wish I could scream
Hidden
like that.
talents.
Oh,
He's so good.
Yeah, he is just a freaking monster. And every night, it's that little bit of surprise. And that's kind of the feedback we've been getting on tour. It's like, oh, wow, you guys have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and everything. And when he just comes out with the like monster in him on the stage with those screams, it just tears it up.
He's
People
so
love it
powerful of a vocalist too.
but
he's such a beast of a bassist that, you know, everybody just loves his, you know, bass presence and his head banging and stuff. I mean, he's just a bear on stage.
Oh yeah.
But like,
that's a great
yeah,
that's a great
he's
way
just
to
a
describe a
bear.
bear on stage.
But then like, yeah, once he starts screaming, people just like, you know, where did that come from, you know? But he's so powerful with his screams. And I try to get him on so many songs, but then like, I don't know, like we gotta, you know, I guess it just depends on the song, you know, what songs call for you know,
holding it for
screams.
the special parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more people you have singing, though, the better. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it gives you a more rounded out sound, and
Yeah.
it kind of. I think bands that I've had this conversation with people before, where it's like sometimes I feel like the band is not in it with the energy of the song completely. So like when you have multiple people in the band singing the lyrics with you, it's like I feel like it gives it a better energy. It gives it a more like complete energy.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one thing on this tour that we feel like we've been developing. Like, I think after Kane Churko in Vegas, we were like dead set on bringing these songs on tour. And I think we had like 4 weeks at home to prepare and get our entire set ready with the movements and choreography and the cadence and pacing of everything. So it's been a bit of a learning process for the first couple shows, but it's really coming together on stage. I mean, the energy is just all there. It's overflowing. Literally, we can't keep Cam on stage anymore.
Oh my God, Cam is wild on stage, man. Like, have you seen any of our live videos at all?
I don't think I have.
Oh man. Oh,
actually, I saw like a clip of one. I saw just
What?
a clip of one on TikTok, but I don't think I saw Cam in it. It was mostly
So
just you. And
we're like crazy, okay? Like
It's like a 3D band.
Yeah. like Cam. So all right. First off, we're techies. You know that already, right?
Yeah,
you know, a lot of the band is very technical. So not only have we like stepped up our game, like with visuals, like so a lot of our new songs that we wrote in Vegas kind of incorporate like becoming more digitally inhuman. Yeah. Like like you're losing more and more of your humanity and becoming more and more like AI essentially. So we've incorporated a lot of AI elements into our set. And so like our TV visuals on both sides of the stage, like they have wireless HDMI with like different that's actually using AI elements like that incorporate like our lyrics and like our visuals and our like color palettes of different songs, and it's adapting, and it's really, really cool to have AI in our set right now. But anyway, just us alone, like Cam, he'll climb the light towers, and he has like a wireless keyboard on the top of the light tower, so he's playing up there while he's headbanging. And like all of us, we headbang, we move a lot, we go into the crowd, we like headbang onto the crowd. I mean, it's nonstop energy. Oscar and I push each other a lot. Like we have a lot of fighting between each other.
On stage.
No, we get along.
Yeah, and throwing ourselves, like we've been super fortunate that some of these venues aren't like super huge either, you know, so the barricades are right there. So we're jumping off the stage into the barricades and like sweating all over people in the front row and like screaming in their faces. So it's been really fun to play with all the different dynamics of what we've been able to do. And honestly, like I said, we're exploring right now what this set looks like, right? Like we haven't done these songs ever. So everybody on this tour is hearing them for the first time ever, and will be the only people to hear them until they're released, essentially. So it's been giving us an opportunity to let loose a little bit.
Yeah. Well, in that dynamic, if you guys talking about fighting with each other, it's like that kind of dynamic is what makes a band good, I think. Like having those differences of opinion and like butting heads on certain stuff, and then finding a middle ground and whatever. It's like that's all the best bands have that kind of a dynamic, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're like talking about like fighting,
right,
like
just for space on stage.
Yeah, I'm talking about on stage.
Yeah,
on stage we're like pushing each other. Whatever. on stage we're like pushing each other, and like I grab my microphone and I do this like fake like throwing hands. I'm about to punch him with my microphone.
That's
you know,
never
So
while
it's
I'm doing,
WWE.
thing.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of spin headbangs while I'm throwing my mic. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of
You guys are just
moving.
like Tasmanian devils up there.
Yeah.
But don't get it wrong. Like, I mean, just like SmackDown, there are some times where someone will get smacked around, and we've walked away off stage with bruises.
Oh my
with
God,
scrapes. This one knows how to get.
I don't
God.
know what it is, but like I feel like I'm a magnet to
peach.
Cam,
A
just like
peach.
running into. I don't know. But I have like battle wounds, man. Every single tour. I mean, it's good. It's a good thing. But yeah, like I'm already like we're only like a week into the tour, but I'm like just got bruises. Like it's just covered. But it's a part of me, lilac. I'm just lilac.
Black and purple.
Very purple.
There you go. Yeah, it's like any heavy show, even if you're in the audience, like it wasn't a real show if you don't leave with some bruises or some kind of marks, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the last tour with the Treyu, I broke a rib.
Oh,
So
God.
I still sang through it and stuff because I didn't get the X-ray until after the tour. So I just kept telling myself, breathe through the pain. It's just a bruised rib, you got to just stretch it out, So I kept head banging. I kept stretching it. Yeah, stretch out a broken rib.
Like, walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off.
I kept doing it. And I have crazy freaking high notes in my set, man. Like there are crazy high notes, but I was just doing the exercises, keeping with it, trying to keep my breathing, strong enough. We did it. And then afterwards I was like, oh, there's an X-ray. It was broken. Okay. Yeah. Well, glad I know now. And I didn't know beforehand. Otherwise I feel like it would have like messed with my psyche. I would have been more careful.
Like, oh shit. Yeah.
Nobody
Maybe
needs
the broken rib
careful.
helped. Yeah. Maybe the broken rib helped you hit notes you couldn't hit before too. Like,
Maybe.
Right.
Possible.
Something to keep in mind for the second half of this tour when she starts getting a little tired.
No, whatever.
Nudge off the stage. Oh no!
Oh,
which you need to tell the story about what happened the other night. We had a little fun mishap. Alyse decided it would be a great idea to jump off the stage right into one of our air cannons and surprise everybody
this was
with
after
a
the set.
cloud.
The set was done. The set was over. Our whole set was done.
She decided to just cloud up the entire room with our cryo cannons.
I had to get like the set list off the ground, and this venue was a little bit smaller than the other ones that we were playing at, so I thought it would be easier for me to put the set list like
Stone Pony,
on the
right?
ground. Yeah, in New Jersey.
Yeah, Stone Pony.
So I put the set list on the ground in front of the like barriers, and so I stepped down after the set was done to go pick up the set list, right?
Step down.
But when I stepped down, I may or may not have stepped on the on button for the air cannon. So it was just like whoosh, hair, flying hair, and it was cool for me because I looked probably pretty epic.
The most metal Marilyn Monroe you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was just shooting out. And I actually don't set up the air cannon, so I didn't know how to turn it off. So I just kind of like walked away.
Like, good.
It sounds like a White Snake video or something from the 80s where they like have the hair, like the guitar players like standing on the fan with his hair blowing up and stuff,
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect.
You could have just played it like that and been like, yeah, this is my close up.
I totally did this on purpose, and now I'm gonna walk away slick, like as if like nobody noticed the giant like 10-foot like thing of air, compressed air.
You're like, we're trying to do a Batman move. You know how Batman like throws those pellets down and then smoke fills and he disappears.
Yeah.
Like,
And it
just gotta frame it like that.
Goes and goes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, but so like Kane Churko, like to talk about some of the songs. We're planning on releasing them probably after the holiday. Like we're talking about like starting to get the music videos and everything ready like right after like the Christmas holiday. Right. Because our next tour is going to be in February and March. Stay tuned for that. We can't.
Are you guys going to be out on the West Coast this time?
It's all of our other tours were West Coast. So like this one is more like it goes through like middle of the US all the way East Coast up all the way, and
Back
then back down, and then over to Midwest. And so it's like half of the United States over to the East Coast. Whereas like our first 2 tours were all West Coast, you know, and then this one is East Coast, but it's like less massive. This one's a lot longer of a tour as well.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the road for a while.
And the bands that we're playing with are crazy.
And I think we're hitting every single state between the Midwest and East Coast. Like,
yeah, I'm super excited. But anyway, so that's not until February and March. So I feel like we should just flood our January with like music videos. That way we can start, you know, prepping the releases of the songs. But Kane, like, he really embraced like us being us. Like, instead of like us being like put in this box of like, okay, here are other bands that also do rap and rock combined, let's try to make sounds like that. Instead of that, he was like, Oscar, I hear some like really modern rap out of you, you know, and because Oscar does some things on the side, you know, where he has that modern rap element, but he doesn't really bring that over into Lilac, or he didn't before. And then with me, like, I mean, I love singing rock music, but also if I go out to a karaoke night, I want to show off my voice, you know, so I might do some challenging, you know, crazy stuff just to prove that, hey, I can sing too. And so anyway, showing him my voice, he was like, okay, like there might be a break in one of the songs and he'll be like, all right, I want you to do some crazy like Christina Aguilera shit right here, you know, or like he just really let us like open our skill sets and just embrace who we are and not try to create a box around us. And we just let loose. It's a way different, like a different level. It's a huge different level for Lilac.
I think a lot of that influence you can hear on In This Moment's new stuff as well, The Purge and stuff like that. It's just he's really embracing like this super modern sound, working a lot with these electronic elements,
like Cam.
Yeah, and so that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly. So it was really cool to watch Cam and Kane work together as well, because they're so similar in their exploration of new, weird, you know, intricate sounds, sometimes stuff that are like Easter eggs, you know, in the tracks, and just creating this wild environment for us to work within. And then Kane coming in with all of his influence for like this was a collaboration all the way around. So lyrics, you know, vocal styles, you know, melodies, everything was just 100% collaboration with all of us in the room, 8 hours a day in the studio, and then after the studio working back in the RV while we were in Vegas. So it was really cool to just be, for 6 weeks, to be completely surrounded with work. You know, it was really
immersed
cool.
in it.
Yeah, really immersed in it.
You guys got to do a song where Alyse raps and you sing. Like a trade roles.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
He's all excited to sing.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And this will be recorded for forever.
Oh my God.
Recommended.
Have you?
Just saying.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure. Have you seen? There's a TikTok where like, he was late to practice, he couldn't make it to practice.
I did see that.
Yeah, so I like purposely put like on a hat like sideways, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do all of Oscar's raps, and then I totally forgot like a lot of his lyrics. Like, oh man,
the singing I was on point.
But then he put on a lilac wig.
Perfect.
He had this purple lilac wig, and he's just like up doing these high
embodiment notes of what I needed to be. So who needs practice? You know.
Oh my God, never. He was ready for his lilac diva moment.
You got to be ready for those moments when they come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah, she was 10 minutes later. I was like, it's my time.
Oh,
my time.
My time to shine. So I was going to ask you about ETA for those new tracks, but you said probably next year. Are you going to release them all independently, like as one-offs, or are you going to release the full batch together?
Yeah, so right now we are label shopping, sir. So our management, so I don't know if you know this or not, but like we have this same manager as In This Moment. So like In This Moment and Eve Under Fire, their manager is our manager.
Shout
and
out
so
C3,
like
shout out Tony
shout
Couch.
out C3. Yeah, so they want to try to send these new Churko songs, and then also the other like unreleased songs that we did in LA, with a lot of our live footage to the different labels and stuff. Like over the holiday season, which obviously a lot of labels are like closed down for the holidays. So it's going to be a lot of like while we're on tour, and then after the holidays, we're going to label shop. And I guess that will determine the schedule of how we release and stuff like that, you know, because we're going to be a force either way, whether we're on a label or not. Like, look at how far we're moving already just off of us, just off of our drive. You know, it's been insane. Like we're working independently, and we're on tour with Pop Evil and Fame on Fire right now. Like and we just got off tour with Atreyu, and we just wrote new songs with King Turco. Like we are a force to be reckoned with, and we're gonna keep going. But you know, I think exploring what would Lilac be with a label too? Holy crap. Like we're already pretty powerful. Let's see what combined forces do. So we'll explore that a little bit, and then we'll decide how we're gonna release the songs, or if we're just gonna stay flying solo like we've been doing.
That's really cool. So many bands I talk to nowadays are kind of like are independent, and it's so much. I feel like it's so much tougher to do all that work yourself. So cheers for that, because like booking your tours and doing all that, like selling your own merch, doing your own all that stuff it's so difficult on top of the art part of it.
Thank you. I mean, we have developed such a huge team. So even though we're independent, like we still have an amazing PR reps, and we have like we work with Sound Talent Group for booking agency and stuff. So we've developed this huge team. We just don't have a label. So it's doing it all ourselves.
That could be a blessing in disguise too. Yeah. It's like, you know, like as you guys grow and you get bigger, like if one of these new songs just really takes off, like you might not even need a label. Or at least you'll have some leverage at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've just learned so much about the industry in these last few years as well, going about it this way. And honestly, having leader number one over here, that's the thing about a lot of bands is, you know, when you have a lot of heads, you know, pulling you one way or another, oftentimes you don't get anywhere. But Alyse has been an incredible leader in putting this group of people together and team for us to get to where we are so far. So it's been really cool to be part of that learning process as well, and learn the ins and outs of the industry, what it is to work with PR reps, how we need to prepare, what it is to work with management, how we need to prepare for a tour, what it means for us to look over everything, you know, before we hand off the reins to someone else even. Yeah. So, you know, to even other bands who reach out to us and they're like, you know, how are you guys doing this? You know, like what's going on? Like it's a lot, right? But it's part of that cool process that we can even share a little bit of that information, a little bit of that know-how with them, and kind of support other groups, you know, in the way we came up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to doing it independent, because, you know, I know you gotta hire PR people, you gotta hire tour booking people, whatever, but still it's a lot of work to do this stuff without a label. So
thank you. I don't sleep.
Kudos.
She does not sleep.
Does the band call you La Jefa?
Yeah, like I think it would be cool to like team up with a label a little bit, maybe, so I could sleep a little bit. But you know,
cool
I can do this shit on my own. I'm cool, you know. But
So we've started having to like almost like a puppy dog, like sneak little melatonin into her peanut butter and jelly. And like, hey, here's a snack. Why don't you hang out for a little while?
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Take a nap, please. Stop working for a little while.
Kids, don't listen to him at home.
Yeah. Don't put drugs in your bandmates.
No, you don't. Oh my God.
Melatonin might be okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Like it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. I hope to see you guys. I haven't caught you live yet, so I hope you get out. By the first time I talked to you, I think you'd already done tours out here, so I didn't get a chance.
Where are you? Where are you exactly?
I'm in LA.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, so Tony's talking about setting up some record label showcase shows, like in like New York and LA. So maybe like after the turn of the year, you know, we'll put you on the guest list.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know. I'd love to see you guys play live. I was supposed to go to a show last night in LA, and I didn't make it out because it was like a late night Sunday show for this band called Siglos. But I tried to get out to everything that that I can. And with you guys, I definitely want to see you guys live. This is the second time we've talked, and I still haven't got a chance to catch your live show.
I love the stories that you were doing of the water tank and stuff with the drowning with Undertow.
Oh yeah.
I love your like stories that you create out of, like, you make all these different cuts of this full video, and I think that that's so cool that you do that.
No, I appreciate that. It's funny too, when we did that last conversation, I went like, oh, that'll be a good like short, because the way that we've been doing this live stream thing is it's like we do the live stream and then I'll go back and like cut out videos for YouTube and stuff like that are interesting, like little interesting pieces of the conversation, and that when you said that thing about the water tank, I was like, that's a great story, how you had to like find the water tank, because the label wouldn't pay for it, and you went to all the magicians, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. So I cut the video of you in the water tank into the conversation.
I love it. Yeah, no, it was such a good short. I shared that multiple times. Like we even like put it on our TikTok. Yeah,
and that's what like my goal for this is to like, hey, we want to elevate bands that we love, and I mean even bands that we don't love. Like I want to be a platform to elevate bands that, because we have different people on staff. Like some of the other people are more into like stuff that I'm not necessarily into. I definitely lean more towards the heavy side, but I'm also into everything. So it's like if we can help elevate bands, especially guys, bands like you guys that are independent, basically out there hustling on your own, that's the goal. So I'm glad that worked and you liked it.
Oh yeah. What do you think of the new song Crawl Space? I know it's only
I loved it. I just watched the lyric video, and that's probably another reason why people are singing along, because you guys got that lyric video up, and I was really impressed with the heavy vocal parts. I was like, oh, you guys need to do more of that stuff. Maybe have him double Oscar on some of those parts or something, like, and for accents or something. I don't know. I was into that. I was like, oh, that's a new element that I hadn't really heard in a lot of the music of yours that I'd listened to before.
Good. I want more Kenny screams all the time.
You guys have just sold us into only having Kenny screams for
Oscar's like, all right, that's it, dude. I'm playing the tambourine from now on.
Can't do this.
No, it's cool. It's another dimension, basically. I was like, oh, that's cool. They added like another dimension to their sound, which is brilliant. So
I love that. Awesome.
I know we are just lucky to have like a freaking monster who can absolutely do it. You know what I mean? Because it can be done well and it can be done not so well. But Kenny absolutely kills it every time. So I think we're very fortunate in that for sure.
Well, I feel like too, the stuff you guys are doing, like there's so much, you guys are somewhat new, so you haven't really tapped your potential yet, but the stuff you're doing with the kind of like the rap and the back and the vocals, like you can take that so many places that it hasn't been before. And so that's what I was excited about when I heard the Crawl Space. I was like, oh, they're doing something different here. It still has a little bit of that Linkin Park type vibe to it, but it's going in a different direction now. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah,
that is true.
And I think we really kind of like Alyse was alluding to with what we did in Vegas. We really, really leaned into that, from our Perfect Drug EP to our currently unnamed.
No, I thought we were gonna name it Paper Dreams, right? Or Digital Ace?
See, that's what I'm saying. So the name is up for debate still, but I thought it was.
How many songs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 5 songs are gonna be on this EP.
Awesome.
And so getting into,
to be named.
PBD.
Bam. Copyrighted. I'll steal that. But it was really cool to explore something completely different than what we've done on Perfect Drug. And I think it's completely different in really, really good ways. It's not completely separate from what we've done before, but I would say it's the next evolution of where we're trying to go for sure.
Yeah, another layer.
I got some crazy ass high notes in this set, man. Now these new songs.
Are you guys playing all the songs live? All the new ones?
Only one we're not is like there's like one that's kind of a slower, like more like a vibe kind of song,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's not in the set because I feel like we have 30 minutes to come out fist swinging, You know, let's just do our like heavy hitters. So
Yeah,
we took out Heirloom, and Broken Promises, like all of our kind of more ballady, like slower songs. We just knocked them out, and we're just like heavy hitter, like
Smacking heads
like
for 30 minutes.
yeah, everybody's
That's
just like
cool.
by the end of our set, they're just like, what on earth just happened? Yeah.
That's
Like,
what you got to do. I saw Black Label Society a while back, and I love Zach Wilde. I think he's amazing. But he did this like, it was all these heavy bands. It was like Prong and Obituary and Black Label Society. And Black Label Society came out heavy, and then they did this section in the middle where they like did like 3 really slow, and I just lost me. Like, and the whole crowd was like, "What are we doing now?" Like, so I think that makes sense. Like, it depends on the vibe. Like,
Yeah.
it's great that you can do those kind of songs, but you got to know your audience, like a DJ, right? It's like you kind of like, okay, this crowd is probably not going to want to hear the ballads.
and song order is so important too. Like we learned that with the Atreyu tour. Like the first song we showed up with, we were so excited for this one tour, this one song that we had just written, but it was like slower and heartwarming. You know, you don't start the set off with that. We changed it immediately for the second show, you know, and it was like boom, night and day, you know, difference, you know. So I think learning, okay, what's the best, like to you know, showcase us very fast in one song. That way, okay, people know what we're all about, you know, our dynamic between Oscar and I. But then kind of how do we peel back this onion to show the rest of, you know, the dynamics of our band, to show like all the stuff that Cam brings to the table, all the stuff that Kenny brings to the table, all the stuff that Sketty and Ryan do. And I think that's really important, that we sit down and we'll have a very long conversation of like what makes the best set list for us.
You just reminded me of this quote from the movie Seven. Have you ever seen Seven with Brad Pitt and
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey? He goes, wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer. Like that's kind of like when you're a live band, you have to do that. You really do have to, especially if you're an opener, when you're touring with bands that it's like you really have to grab people right out the gate.
Yep. Yeah. People aren't there to see you. They're there to see Pop Evil, you know? So like you have to show them why you're there. Yeah. And why they should listen to the whole 30 minutes. Yeah.
Totally. And a lot of those bands too, I don't know Pop Evil, but like I used to go to Pantera shows all the time, and Pantera would always pick their opening band. And a lot of times it was someone totally different from Pantera, like Typo Negative, for example. I don't know if you know them at all, but but I always thought it was so cool because the band Pantera would like choose a band that they loved to warm them up and basically give that band the exposure, you know?
That's so cool.
So hopefully
friends.
Yeah, we do.
Hopefully you guys are getting that treatment as well.
Oh yeah.
The next tour, maybe. I'm friends. I mean, we've become friends. So yeah.
And we've gotten to meet a lot of the guys from Pop Evil and Fame on Fire too. Super cool guys, and had never met them before this tour, but they've been super welcoming and warm, and kind of bringing us into the fold as well for this tour, and you know, telling us about their experience. So it's been really cool getting to know, you know, new bands, new people every tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest part of the game too, right? Like for musicians now, because streaming is I've seen the numbers. You don't make a ton on streaming, and so it's like the touring thing is your bread and butter.
Yeah.
So you really got to get out there and shake hands and you know, get in with the fans. And I look at
shake babies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wrong order. Drink a lot of Airborne.
Drink a lot of Airborne. So for the remainder of the year, you guys you said one more tour, and then you're going to start putting out the new songs after the first of the year?
No, so this tour ends, the last show is in Michigan on November 22nd. And then we're just going to be focused on label shopping for the rest of the year.
And music videos.
Oh yeah, and music videos. Yeah, because we have all these songs that are unreleased, so we need to have them ready in our back pocket to release when it's go time. So like we'll have to start getting all the costumes, because we go hard in our music videos. Like we don't just like yeah, like we get these like I get custom made corsets, I get custom made gowns, like that 15-foot train for my dress alone in Perfect Drug, like everything, like the icicle corset with the huge ice crown, all of that was custom for me. And
wow.
yeah, and like so the water tank too, like that I had to call around magicians all across the United States till we could find a water tank. You know, like we go so hard in our music videos. I really wanted somebody to throw actual knives at me into nothing. I wanted it so bad. But like, so like there's a company.
That's a pull quote.
I wanted it. Yeah. I mean, but the song is, you know, it's about
it's about the art, right?
Yeah. No, like so like there's actually a guy who specializes in throwing knives in like the paranormal circ. And he travels all around and he throws knives at his assistants, and she's like spinning or whatever, and he's just so dead on. And I was like, I want that guy. Let me see if he's free for our music video. Like I reached out to him, but he wasn't free for our shoot. Man, I wanted somebody to throw knives at me so bad. But anyway, next time.
No one else in the band was quite on target with those knives, so we thought
we did a couple practice rounds.
You know,
it'll be good. Did it a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we gotta start thinking of the concepts for the music videos and like all the costumes and everything. So that we'll do that over the holidays while all of you guys are eating all of your food and, you know, watching all the lights and opening presents.
Yeah, so you're gonna be working through the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a labor of love, right? So
absolutely.
Absolutely.
We've been on for 40 minutes already. So I'm going to ask you guys what you're listening to right now, because I like to ask people that. I probably asked you before, but it changes.
Yeah.
Right now I'm listening to the new In This Moment stuff. Alyse got me into Sleep Token lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh man, who else am I listening to?
I tried to get an interview with Sleep Token, and they're like, nope.
No. Oh man.
Why? Is
Cool
that part of the appeal?
Part of their mystique, which I think is totally cool. Like bands like Tool, like back in the day when Tool first came out, no one knew what they looked like because their videos were all like animation, claymation and stuff. And so I think that's totally cool in the era of social media. Like, nope, like you don't know who we are. We're like totally private, quiet. Like we're like druids or something.
Yeah, it adds to the mystery and like just brings you in even more. And
yeah, and the music great too. It's not like just a gimmick. Like the music actually is really good.
You're talking about Sleep Token?
Sleep Token.
Yeah.
Oh,
I completely agree.
Good. So good.
I love his voice. Like and I think the way that he incorporates like a lot of genres, like he mixes a lot of genres like we do, and he doesn't hold back with his lyrics, and I don't know, it's very, very cool what he's doing.
Yeah, the first song I heard of theirs is called Atlantic, and it has like it starts with like a piano piece. It almost sounds like Coldplay or something, and then it kicks into this really heavy it's so good.
Oh, I need to listen to that one. I haven't heard that one yet.
It's from the album before the one they just put out, like the previous, like the first song. It's so good.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to listen to that one.
But you guys definitely are in that realm too. I feel like similar realm anyway to Sleep Token, like kind of using hip hop and modern R&B and stuff with rock and metal.
Yeah, because Cam makes such weird sounds. Like our keyboardist, he writes like all of our instrumentals.
In music and real life, he makes weird sounds.
Yeah, but like he'll like, for instance, like in Into Nothing, the boom, 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 like that noise that you first hear at the very intro of the song, that's actually Cam's vocals that he's like processed a whole bunch and then he reversed them, and then he just makes weird sounds and makes them into keyboard sounds. Okay, or he'll take like a broken stick cracking and then I'll do a whole bunch of effects on that, and then boom, that's now a sound. He's just,
love it.
He's just like a mad genius with things. He's like a scientist. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that. So funny. I was a sound scientist.
Yeah.
Ooh, new nickname. New nickname.
Sonic scientist, sound scientist. Sound scientist might be better.
Yeah, he's definitely a scientist when it comes to sounds and making weird. He wants to make sounds that are like 3 years ahead in the future, you know? And Kane Churko does the same thing. Like, so when they first met, like they were just really geeking out about like, here's some weird effects that like nobody knows about, and here's these weird plugins that nobody knows about, and here's like I don't know, they just started really meshing on like weird sounds and creating unique things that you don't hear in music. And then Kane started making jokes saying like, so when we start our new project together, you know, when we start a band, you know,
at least shut that down.
I was like, don't poach that damn member. No, I'm kidding.
You're not poaching our keyboard player, bro.
You're not poach him. Oh man, but so Sleep Token, I've been listening to Sleep Token lately. I really like Highly Suspect, his voice. I mean, I like In This Moment. I listened to some of their new stuff that
Bring Me
just
the
came out.
Horizons new stuff is kind of cool. It's like
Big
a little
fan.
poppier.
Yeah, Bring Me the Horizons.
I need to listen to that. I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard a lot of people saying it's really good. I like their stuff anyway, so
Yeah.
I've been a fan of them since like the Black and Blue days, you know, like Braille days. So like now
They've
that
evolved a little bit.
Yeah, they've changed so much since then. Yeah. But like, I mean, but hearing how they've adapted through like this Epiternal album and like with Throne and all the other ones too after that, like they just keep changing their sound and evolving and staying like ahead of the curve. Like they're so good. Like so many people try to create sounds like they do, and I think that really speaks on their talent. So I think we try to do the same thing where we try to think ahead, like what other bands aren't doing, you know, when we write our new music.
That's the way to be too, because there's so much stuff that comes out that sounds similar. You know, it's like it's on this. We talk a lot about the grid, and I don't think that like, you know, because everyone's kind of moved to a Pro Tools environment where they're recording on a grid versus like analog days, where it was like you had the drummer in the room and stuff, and then everyone tracked on the drums.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of the problem, but yeah, I have tons of respect for anyone that's experimenting, and like it's also challenging as an artist because you can alienate your fan base by going too far down that road. So it's like such a tightrope to walk.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see how our original fan base feels about these new songs, but I really think they're going to love it. I think they're going to, it's what they're expecting as we move forward, right? Not stay still.
Yeah. I mean, all you can do is put out stuff that you're proud of, and as an artist, and if you like it, everyone else is going to like, maybe not right off the bat. That's the thing too about being innovative, is sometimes it takes time for everyone else to catch up with you.
The shell shock of it all. Like, this is different. Yeah.
Yeah. All my favorite bands were bands that when I first heard them, I was like, ooh, what is that? I don't like that. And then I was like, oh, wait, I just don't like it because it's unique. And it's like, oh, this is kind of third listen. I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to understand this.
Yeah. Learning that about some of the industry pros too.
Yeah. I could imagine some of these guys have there's a method to their madness that isn't apparent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, damn, we've been on for 48 minutes now. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? Should we talk about politics?
Oh God, don't get him started on
no,
politics.
Alyse has forbidden us, and so that's where my contract comes in.
Oh no,
the silence waiver has been signed.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's not talk about politics. Oh God.
Every once in a while,
our audience before we even start, man.
Right.
We're still up and up and up. Let's see. No, I don't know. I think just mainly our new music is going to be coming out. Come check us out. Like live in performance, like we're going all through East Coast and Midwest right now. There's still a whole 3 weeks left to tour left. We're hitting cities every single day. So go to lilac.com, LYLVC.com /events, and check out, like, get some tickets, check out the cities and states near you, and come visit us, come throw down, and I'll headbang on your face.
Where are you guys playing next?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we're playing Disney.
Oh yeah, right in Disney World. I haven't been to this House of Blues. We played the last tour we did the House of Blues in San Diego, but this one is going to be like apparently smack dab in the middle of Orlando, like right there in Disney World. So
I talked to JC from the band A Light Divided. Do you know her?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because she
Know
was in
that.
North Carolina. I was like, oh, I just talked to Lilac the other day, and she's like, oh, I know them. They're total homies.
Yeah.
You know, I
We
used
played
to
with them
know
up in
her.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew her from my old. I used to play in bands before we started Lilac, right? And she's been in A Light Divided. They've been in a band for so long that like
Yeah.
every time I like was in a local band in the like local Raleigh area and stuff, she was always there with A Light Divided and stuff. So I got to know her a lot from just being in this area. So yeah, seeing the dynamic of like Lilac it just like exploding and like our music video getting so many views and like now we're touring and it's way different than my old bands. But like seeing how her band is exploding and stuff as well now, it's been really cool looking back at that.
Yeah, it's cool that there. It sounds like there's actually kind of a scene, like a local scene where y'all are at. Because I've talked to a couple bands. Like I talked to this band in New York the other day. I was like, "Do you guys play much locally?" And they're like, "We go out to shows, but we don't usually play like on the local scene, you know."
I mean, there was the Maywood that like had a huge community. Like a lot of people in the local like musicians, they all came to Raleigh to play there, and like Lincoln Theater too and stuff. But like I think just the Maywood didn't turn anybody away, you know. So there was like a lot of that metal community there. Like it wasn't about like who could sell the most tickets. It was just about community and like music and like the heart of it.
Mhm.
And so like a lot of us just supported each other through that place, but they actually closed down during COVID. And so a lot of other venues have been like, you know, popping up or taking on that community, you know, that like they were there before, but like I think they're starting to embrace the community more. Yeah, I don't know.
Things are definitely on the come up for
Yeah.
sure back in Raleigh.
It's
Like
coming
things-
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Slowly but surely. And it's really cool to see like so many acts coming back together and playing, especially we have like local 506 and
Yeah.
the Cave, Cat's Cradle, stuff like that. So it's really cool to see things coming back together.
Yeah, like we're gonna finally play in Raleigh, maybe on our next tour. That one's gonna be going through Raleigh, which is cool because we haven't been able to play Raleigh at all in between all of these tours that we've been doing. We've been playing just in Jacksonville at Hooligans in Jacksonville, North Carolina. They've been booking like Red and Puddle of Mud and Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and stuff. So we've been like playing
Basically
with
our
those
second
bands.
home.
Yeah, we've been playing there more than we have Raleigh. But yeah, maybe we'll get to play Raleigh soon.
Yeah, it's funny. Like with COVID, I just went to this new venue a couple nights ago in LA called the Bellwether, and it's like they opened it in August, and a bunch of stuff shut down during the pandemic. But there's a lot, like to what you guys are saying, there's a lot of new stuff I see popping up too, because people are hungry for live music. I think that shutdown made everyone realize, like, hey, this sucks.
Yeah. I mean, and I think we've noticed a lot that like crew members, like even our driver who's driving our tour bus for this particular tour, like he said that a lot of the drivers had to like quit tour bus driving because there was no tours to drive for. So they all had to like find jobs, you know, and as like semi-truck drivers or even non-driving jobs. And now it's like, now that like, okay, shows are a thing now, tours are a thing again. Like apparently there was like a big shortage of drivers because everybody they had already found day jobs, you know, elsewhere, you know, so trying to get them back to start driving was crazy. And so like he was telling us that, you know, he's feeling a little rusty now because he hasn't been driving since COVID happened, you know. So yeah, a lot of, I think, getting the crew back from COVID has been a big change. I wonder what the labels are going to do like regarding, like, I know for a while they were like dropping people from labels because they weren't getting their shots and stuff like that. So I wonder how things are going to be going forward. You know, yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like, and a lot of it's because of the concerts that were canceled, but it seems like there's like more shows than ever now. Like I have a hard time getting to everything I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And the festivals, like, they look so insane this year. Like last year, they looked awesome too. Like I'm really excited for us to get on festivals this year. Go Sound Talent Group, get us on festivals.
Like you said, everyone's just hungry for it now. They missed out.
Yeah.
Everyone's just
People
trying
are
to get back out there.
People were deprived of music, and it I think it made them even more hungry for it than they maybe were before.
Yeah, I think people started traveling a lot more too, because like us, all of our, like, we started really embracing the remote life, like working remotely, and realizing, oh, we can do this while we pursue our dreams. Like we can bring our laptops on the road with us, work from our hotspots during the day, and then sound check at night, you know? Like, and so all of us have our day jobs during the day, and then we sing at night, and it's been working so far. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think other people, they're traveling, they're hitting all their cities. I mean, they're going from, you know, seeing us in New Jersey to seeing us in Baltimore, and seeing, you know, like, I feel like people are just really embracing that, like, on the road life now, and just travel.
Yeah, COVID made me appreciate a lot of stuff more. Gave me a greater appreciation for in-person communication, and I'm sure it did for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess well, damn, we've been on for almost an hour now, and we can't talk about politics.
I mean, if you want to ask us stuff,
No. The thing about that is, like, I think it's interesting to get people's takes on certain, like, current events and stuff like that, and different like hot button issues. But I also understand, like, as a band, like, you have to be careful what you say in that realm, because you don't want to divide your audience or like alienate anyone that
Well,
might
I
be
also think
into
we're
music.
only 2 people of 6, you know? Like, there's not all of us have the same views, you know? Like, Oscar and I have different views in religion, you know, and spirituality and stuff. And so I think it's
You don't want to
it's
speak
hard
for the band.
yeah, it's hard for us to speak for Lilac when it's just 2 of us here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought James Hetfield said something I thought was really good, because obviously, like, he's a little more country than the other guys in Metallica. And he said, we don't really talk about it because we, like, same thing you did. We all see things differently, and we want to bring people together, not divide people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good answer.
Yeah. Like, if anything, I thought that, like, this new song was going to be really polarizing for our audience. And even that was a little bit tiptoeing for us. Like, I was just like, all right, let's not hold back with these lyrics. Like Heirloom was like me scratching the surface of, like, you know, childhood trauma, you know, going through a lot of crap. Right. But then I felt like I didn't get it out of me. Like, I don't know. I just, like, since I was vague with it, and I was, you know, just trying to relate to as many people who had been through trauma as well. Like, I just, it didn't get out of me. So I felt like with Crawl Space, I had to just, like, tear through it, be as brutal and as honest and as raw and real with those lyrics as possible, in order to just, like, let it out. And I didn't even have to write about it, like, for the King Turco songs. Like, I didn't feel like, I felt like it was out of me now, you know? But I don't know. I was kind of worried a little bit, like, what are they going to think of these lyrics? Like, smack you in the face. Like, they're brutal. Like, wristbound face first, dried across the asphalt. Like, you know, very vivid imagery.
There's a lot of F words in that song too. I noticed. I was like, that it's a lot more. I love the chorus on Heirloom. That's like one of your most memorable songs to me. Like, I'll catch myself singing it in my head. But then this new one, I was like, wow, it's got a similar kind of lyrical theme, but it's way more like just hardcore lyrically.
Yeah. Well, so with Heirloom, you're like, I think that's more of the concept of, like, the monsters in your life can be the people that you trust the most. you know, like but like as you grow up in life, so you build this like wall around you as a kid, and you create these castle walls, right, to protect you. But then later on in life, your guards are so high that like you're not really afraid of humans anymore. Like I feel like if somebody tries to, I don't know, like, you know, rob you or whatever, I feel like you have a fighting chance against a human, you know. But I feel like that's not really what messes us up later. I think I'm not afraid of the monsters under my bed anymore. I'm more afraid of the voices that are in my head that are telling me that, you know, I'm never gonna love, you know, or I'm so broken because of what I went through. I'm never gonna be able to have the similar emotions to other people who weren't as broken as I am, you know. But you fight these voices in your head more than the actual like monsters themselves that like hurt you. I bet not even the monsters could do what you did, you know. And so yeah, whereas like crawl space, it's more I think after the fact. So you've been broken, you've been beat, you've been bullied, you've been kicked when you're down, dragged across the asphalt. You've been messed up in life, and you've had bad luck slapped across your face, right? And sometimes those people, I think, don't get treated like their lives are as worth it as other human beings, you know. Like maybe like if they died, some people won't prioritize their life over some other people who might like have more of a spotlight, or family, or, you know, people around them, you know, who knew them, right? So it's how do they get up, how do they get back up from the gravel, you know. And like, how can I survive in a world that doesn't care if I'm alive? How can I survive when I feel so lost and paralyzed, you know? And still getting up, overcoming those demons, overcoming that fight, you know?
To go back a little bit to something you said earlier, it reminded me of, I watched this lady talking about, maybe it wasn't a lady, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about how we talk to ourselves, like the things that we tell ourselves, our internal dialogue is what shapes us more than anything. And if you sit and tell yourself you're a piece of crap and you're never going to amount to anything, like that will manifest. So like how you kind of talk to yourself is a big part of mental health and just, you know, all that stuff that you're talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not like, I don't know about, like, I feel like he's the big manifest guy. Like he talks a lot about manifesting, like, you know, things into existence. I think I'm very much into like the only like limits that we have are the limits that we put on ourselves. And I feel like if you tell yourself that you're not going to do something, or that you're not going to achieve something, you're right. You know, you're not, you know, if you tell yourself, oh, I'm not famous, I'm just a local band right now, so let me start off small. Before I can't email that fancy producer, he's not going to like my stuff. I got to start with these little EPs, you know, at first, and build for 8 years, because that's what the gatekeepers and the industry have told me historically that works, you know. And I'm just such a little, you know, person. I'm not there yet. But like, if you don't email the fancy producer, if you don't email them, you never will know, you know. Like, just send it. And, you know, maybe, yeah, you still got some growing to do, or maybe you are badass right out the gate, you know, who knows? And like that, and that's how we got, like, I sent emails. I wasn't afraid. I just like, I was like, I'm not putting limits on ourselves. I'm not going to stop myself. I feel like we can just like achieve whatever we put our minds to. And if they don't respond to the email, then they don't respond to the email, but they might. And they did. They liked our music. And that's like, we got our first EP ever was recorded by like, you know, Mike Plonikoff and at West Valley Studios. And they've recorded like Hailstorm, My Chemical Romance, and Seether, like all these great people, all because like I didn't accept that there are limits, you know, like there doesn't have to be.
I think it was Wayne Gretzky who said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%.
Boom, baby. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like a library of inspirational quotes. So
I
forgive
love
me.
that.
Love it.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna start putting them on my wall.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's wild because there's so many talented musicians out there that never go anywhere because of that, you know, because they just don't have the gusto or the confidence to go, hey, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
And you have to have that.
Or they have too much ego, and
Yeah.
they think that like they've already capped with like they are the shit, and then that's, I feel like that's bad for you as well, because then you're never going to grow. You always have to know that there are people out there that are better than you. There are people out there that are smarter than you and faster than you, and they're all fighting for this spot too. You know what I'm saying? So you have to still be eager. You still have to learn. You have to adapt. You have to change. You have to grow. You know, otherwise you're capped. You know, so
you have to be humble too.
Yeah.
To some degree. Like what you just said made me think about the difference between Dave Mustaine and Metallica, right? It's like Dave Mustaine's always been kind of an arrogant guy, and Megadeth did well, but like the reason Metallica is so beloved is because they're good people. They, you know, they go out and handshake with their fans, and they're like not total arrogant dicks.
I love like meeting the fans at the end of the night. I feel like every single night we always, so I go to the merch table immediately after, while they kind of offload all of our gear from the stage, and then they all kind of trickle in and join me, and we meet people, we sign everything, we take pictures and selfies, and people like really love that genuine connection. And like we've had people like say like we're their favorite band now, and or like they'll start talking to us about our lyrics and like their stories and things that they've been through and how that related, like Heirloom touched them because of this story that happened to them when they were growing up, you know. And like it's just like, I think really powerful to have that, you know, don't be so larger than life, you know, I mean, I think it's cool to be, you know, as large as we can be, but at the same time, remember our roots and still like, you know, shake those hands at the people that matter.
And that's what's been really cool about this tour as well, is that we're seeing generations come out, you know, is like we're seeing parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts come out with little kids and the teenagers, and then 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And then we get to high five them and take pictures with them. And, you know, we're oftentimes, we hear it a lot that we're the first show they've ever been to. So, you know, being Pop Evil's been around for a while, Fame on Fire's been around a little less, and then we're kind of the newer band coming into this to be able to like kind of link up with them and, you know, get to meet the younger crowds because of, you know, who their parents came to see and who they're like, hey, you know, I want you to come see my favorite band, and then they can discover their own favorite band in that way, and we get to be a part of that experience. Has been absolutely beautiful so far.
I love that like parents are bringing kids to this tour. Like I love it.
We've seen so many. It's been
so
cool.
many little kids, and they're just like coming up to us, like trying to headbang with us and stuff at the merch table.
The tiny horns are so cool.
So cute. Oh my god, they're so
raise your tiny horns.
Yeah. And then like there's been some little girls that came up to me saying that they want to be like me when they grow up. They want to, you know, be on stage as a girl, you know, and rock out too with the boys. And I think that that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good role model too. You're like, you guys are also hustling, doing you're like a businesswoman / rock star. So hey, good person to look up to.
Yeah. What's interesting, so we okay. I also was on TV. I don't know if you know this or not, but like I was on Don't Forget the Lyrics on Fox and Hulu. So that I wasn't really allowed to talk about Lilac. I was only allowed to really talk about my day job and stuff. So we've been getting some fans coming in from like seeing us on TV as well, that like only knew about the hacker me, and you know, getting to see like the rocker us and stuff as well. I think it's been very fun. Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh, my friend from college just signed me up for Don't Forget the Lyrics for some reason. I don't know. Wow. And then they loved me. I don't know. I like they liked that I was a hacker, and I just kind of I had to fly out to film it right before our Atreyu set. I didn't even get to like practice a lot. It was right before the Atreyu tour. So I just was hoping for the best. Hopefully I know the songs, because you pick a category and then you get 2 songs and hopefully you know one of them. If you don't, then you don't. But I mean, I won some money,
Nice.
I wish that, I would have gone farther, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It's funny when you talk about Atreyu, that's totally like random aside, but I talked to the guitar player from Atreyu, Travis Miguel, I think is his name, a while back. And he has a side band called Fake Figures. Have you heard them?
No.
They're awesome. They're like really good.
Travis is super cool.
Yeah, I was like really impressed because I've been a fan of Atreyu for a long time. But I was really impressed with their stuff. It's like really good, like heavy guitar rock with like melodic vocals.
Interesting. Do they tour a lot too with Atreyu touring all the
No,
time? Okay, so it's
I asked him about that. He's like, this is kind of like a side thing, like between Atreyu and stuff. So we haven't done a lot of shows and stuff, but because I was asking him about, but definitely like when you said Atreyu, I was thinking about that, how much I like their stuff.
I'm
They're
gonna
called
have to
Fake
Google
Figures.
it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah. Anyway, I can talk all day, but do you guys have anything else that you want to promote or anything else you want to say?
Listen to our new song, Crawl Space.
Shout it out to Octane.
Yes, get it on Octane. We've already been added to a bunch of radio stations or whatever. It is waiting to be added to Test Drive. Please,
great
please,
song.
please. Yeah, thank you so much. Please submit us. Come see us at our shows. Come rock out with us. We got a lot of shows before the end of the year. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming back through. You're the first guest that I've said, hey, come back and talk to me again sometime, that actually did it. So
right on.
I love that.
come back again. Yeah. And please let me know when you're out here in the LA area so I can check y'all out live.
I will.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, really appreciate your time. Everybody, check out Crawl Space. Be waiting for some new stuff next year. If you're out on the East Coast or in the Midwest, look for tour dates. Would you say lilac.com/events?
Yeah, type in LYLVC. Go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, lilac.com, everywhere. Just LYLVC, and check out where we are next.
Awesome. Alyse, Oscar, thank you so much for your time today.
Justin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll talk to you again soon.
Hell yeah.
Take care. All right, y'all. That is it for today's live stream. Go check out Lilac's stuff, and we'll see you next time. Take care.